Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Sat Shri Akal, Namaste. Welcome for a session. As you have seen what CARE stands for, we are going to look in today's session on how we can improve our listening skills, that is, listening proficiency. So let's get into CARES. Hello, this is Anita from Career Cognizance. I'm going to be your facilitator today. Developing listening proficiency. Why? Because communication is a part and parcel of our daily life. And in order to communicate effectively, in order to build better relationship, in order to achieve good growth in corporate or in work life, communication plays an important role. And in communication, listening proficiency has its mark always. And with a simple step, we can learn 6 separate skills in listening proficiency in order to communicate better. As you have seen, they are concentrate, acknowledge, research, exercise emotion control, sense and nonverbals, and structure your response. Let's dig deeper. In the CARES model, concentrate the first part. Focus on your attention on the speaker and only on the speaker. Because the person, what he's delivering, how he's talking, what he says, the words, the inclinations, the connectivity between the topic and the subject makes a lot of difference. That will help you to eliminate the other distractions. Can be noise or what you see and what you hear. It's left to you. And how we can do that? We can avoid the external environmental barriers. That is, if you're able to focus your thought, your attention on the speaker, have your eyes fixed on him, and try to fine tune your listening skills towards the person, then you can definitely, make a conscious effort to reduce the other background noises. Can be the speed of the fan or other things until unless it has some technical difficulty which you cannot avoid. But definitely, yes, when you are paying attention to somebody talking, you can eliminate the background noise and focus on what the person is talking about. Okay. And the external barrier related to the speaker is how the speaker is dressed. When you have your eyes fixed on them, don't just look at what they're dressed. Don't just look at how flashy he is, or how round the person is, or how skinny the person is, or how fair the person is, how dark the person is. I mean, those things really kind of divert your mindset. You would have different imaginations in your head rather than creating an idea of what is being said to you. All right, so watch out what you look for. Then we have the option of internal listener related to barriers. That is again 2 types. When your internal physical barriers are bad timing, like you're really hungry or you didn't eat your breakfast in the morning and there you get nice aroma of the coffee or nice paneer masalas which have been served in the buffet in your training halls, and your brain, your eyes, your ears, all the sensory says, hey buddy, we need food. So that could be one of these sensations inside your body which is internal to us. We need to work out on that also. If you're able, maybe you could drink some water, or you could also try to refocus by just standing a minute and then sitting back, etc. And also the inner voice. You would have experienced when you're doing a meditation. You would have heard a lot of voices when you're just closing your eyes, and maybe you could do that now as I'm talking. The moment you just take a break and close your eyes, and immediately you're able to see a lot of things running, maybe people or maybe places, maybe documents, anything. Just observe that for a second. Just close your eyes and breathe, and wherever you are, just try to observe. One, you can hear the noise outside, the bell, the fruit vendor, the vegetable vendor, the office noise, or maybe the fan speed or the AC, or maybe your phone or watch ticking, could be anything. And there are a series of things which are running in your eyes. You could just see a lot of things running in front of your eyes. So these things are your internal barrier, which can be that you have so much on your mind, and you're not in a practice of meditation to remove those thought processes and put them to alignment, like prioritize, or maybe even to discard the unwanted thoughts. These internal psychological barriers will definitely affect you in listening or paying attention and focus. All right, so these all play a lot of important roles. And when you are in listening skills, when you're practicing your listening skills, yoga, meditations, being mindful practices enhance them. They polish you in the long run. So just get into the practice of doing the meditation part every day and try to work on your inner voices. They really help. If you need more support or suggestions, to DMS. Then in the concentrate part, why we have so much of challenges, whether we are students or working professionals or even in our relationship, is they start creating distractions, and these distractions can cause a gap. Okay, so by being lowering these barriers, we have to assess whether they are in our control or not. We have to start understanding, is there something that I can do about it? So try to control and overcome the barriers. Then concentrating goal. You can, take deep breathing, decide to listen without attention for learning, or even, kind of write it down, whatever you're hearing, and you're putting it down the kinesthetic way, or you just try to look into the eye of the person, the speaker or the trainer, and you're able to pay attention. So just see what suits you around. But to avoid unnecessary distractions and mental fatigue, please do meditate. Please do sit with yourself and try to eliminate unwanted thoughts and overthinking. Then is your acknowledge. Okay. Once you're concentrating, then you come to acknowledge, because you're understanding. You're saying, okay, this is what you said. All right, let me listen to you. So when you acknowledge your speaker, or you demonstrate that you are paying attention or you're there in that room, it encourages the other person to be more attentive to you and give their best. It helps in a better communication when it is the speaker may not just be the person who's training there in front in the room, but also the person whom you're talking to. Could be your girlfriend, could be your boss, could be a colleague, could be a friend, etc. Okay, if it is acceptable, do not hesitate to show acceptance for avoiding the stop of communication. If they're talking to you in a particular spree, maybe a non-verbal acknowledgement like nodding your head should be good, and let the conversation go about. So things like your eye contact, your verbal response, asking like questions, or is that true? Oh, really? Oh, man. Uh-huh. Okay. So these are the few cues that you could definitely give the speaker, the person who's speaking to you, and show that you're showing interest or you're interested in what they're talking about. And it helps in communicating and connecting with each other much more simplified. Research. That is, gather information about the speaker, the person, your boss, or your client, or the person whom you're going to settle your whole life with. It helps. Like, researchers does not mean that just go do a background check, even in personal life. Please don't do. I would be in a soup if you put my name on. So gather information about your speaker, the person whom you're talking to, find out which company they're coming from, what is their background. Maybe you could look into glassdoor.com about the company, or you could look into the person's LinkedIn or social media or websites to get more information. What is the nature of business? What are they into? what are the kind of people they're associated, etc. It gives in depth for you to have a more better conversation with them. Okay, as listening skill research allows you to clarify the message to go deeper. You dig deeper, why they have come to you, why is it you, out of all these people in this world, what is that they are looking in you, or what is that they are impressed by you, or what made them come to you. Okay, research tools, asking questions, giving feedback, let the communication flow easy. Do not be there in the aggressive mode and it's like, oh yeah, okay, so how dare you come to me. Do not be that way, just be in the acceptance mode. Okay, just being the acceptance mode, just go ahead and let the communication flow. Be a very good listener and observe all the cues, the non-verbal cues. Okay, if only the speaker is talking, listeners only listen. So this can make the other person feel a bit tense, just like, okay, why is this person not talking? Am I giving away too much information? Am I not sounding interest? So it can create an uneasy situation for the speaker or the person who you're talking to. So acknowledge, and maybe you could ask a complimentary question like, oh, okay, so these were the clients. So what do you do? Or how long have they been your clients? Etc. All right. So it helps them to speak better and also relevant to both of you if it's business. Okay. Do not just get carried away like, oh yeah, my grandmother was staying there. Or is that also your grandparents' place? That's not relevant. You're here for business. So make sure the motives are met and the questions are on and the flow of communication is there, which are relevant for both of your topic and subject or the purpose of the meet. Okay. Next statement is quite interesting. Another technique is empathy statement. There are three parts of empathy statement. That is tentative statement, defining the feeling. That is, you could put it like a context. You could use your own. I'll just try to get this one as a sample. It seems you're very frustrated. Why? Because you can't get that thing work. You seem to have, uh, you seem to be annoyed because this person did this to you. Is that true? So it kind of shows that you're putting them into a situation, supporting your statement that, you seemed to be frustrated because of the scenario. You seem to be upset because of that scenario. Okay, so this is very tricky and also can make you an interesting person or a trustworthy person to talk to. Empathy statements proves your attention. Okay, that is the reason a lot of people pay attention or give importance for soft skills or empathy building. Okay, it's something that makes us human. It makes us get connected, even though we are here for hardcore business. Okay, encourage the speaker or the person whom you're talking to share the feelings. Like maybe, how was your trip to this place? Hope you reached here without any difficulty. Hope you were on time. Hope you had your breakfast because the meeting is going to be long. So these are the few empathetic statements you could build or you could use as rapport building. Okay, so it shows that you're in a human way concerned about them, and same time you're just checking if they're ready for the meeting or if they're ready for the next important discussions you're going to have. So it leads to a lot of possibilities. All right, so the next is it gives opportunity for the speaker to refine, expand, correct, or even say, hey, no, I need some more time, or I'm ready for this meeting and I'm planning to have the next meeting, etc., where it gives you an expectance of what can be followed. All right, so make sure you affirm that, acknowledge that, and you be a good listener. Exercise emotional control. Deal with highly charged messages in a thoughtful manner. Wait until the entire message is received before reacting. Like this can be an example just to enhance your creativity as you're listening to me. Like, I'm going to stop everything right now. Okay, so this itself is going to create, what is she going to stop? Why is she going to stop? What happened, etc., etc. But I would say I have to stop the recording right now because there's the power of failure. So I've not completed my sentence, but already when I say I'm going to stop everything right now and I give a pause, it kind of creates curiosity. So do not get into a reactive mode of getting blah, blah, blahs, but be in the respond mode and have more of the listening skills. Okay, so you must concentrate on understanding this first. Even if you're really good in being proactive or in the marketing segment or you're in the business development or it's a very important client and things are not looking in your favorable direction, but make sure that you be in the respond mode, not in the reactive mode. So exercise your emotional controls, your voice modulations, your facial features, the expressions and your body language, everything counts. Okay, so what causes an emotional overreaction? Often differences in values, beliefs, right? When we lose our emotional control, then we feel, okay, nothing is working. I've been talking to this person, but blah, blah, blah. This person is not listening to me. He's only interested in conveying his point. My point is not even trying to understand. This could be in relationship, in personal relationship or in office. Okay, it can happen anywhere. And exercising emotional control is a big challenge in nowadays generation because most of us are living in nuclear families. We do not have many people as role models who control their emotions, who exercise their emotions, and who know when and how to let out their emotions. We do not have role models in our house. So, yeah, this is something that we need to inculcate with our own learning interests. Okay, so make sure that you kind of look into all the possibilities which can help you control their your emotions and your reactions to it. Make sure you're in sync with the speaker when they're speaking and be there for the situation or the hour you have to be there. Okay, work on your emotions. You might be frustrated. You might say, what shit, what crap is this person doing? Well, that person is here to meet you and doing their own business. So everything is possible or anything is possible on business. Make sure to be in the responsive mode and have an empathy in your voice and words. Okay. Also is do emotional control by recognizing and redirecting your negative emotional reactions. For example, how do we show that we are frustrated? Either our eyes get red, our tone gets more rougher, or we raise the voice, right? Or we see people start getting cold. They stop looking at you, they either get fidgeted or they don't react, nor respond, nor acknowledge. Sometimes people also bite the teeth, clench the teeth, right? Or with their fists, or they're just trying to pack everything inside the bag, saying that, okay, I'm done. Are you done with your nonsense? So these are the few body languages which you need to recognize and start redirecting your thoughts also, because if you're irritated, these things are shown to the speaker, which you may not realize or do knowingly. Okay, so what you could do is how you can redirect is this person is speaking something you already know or taking sessions you already know and you're into boredom and you're kind of irritated. You could rather take a pen and pencil and start jotting down the points that they have already spoken so far, just to check what would be your next question. That would make an interesting interaction. Or you feel that you're really in the high temper, the discussions is going very heated, maybe in an interpersonal relationship, and you're really gonna blow off like the volcano. Start doing the breathing technique 11 times, 21 times. Do hold your wrist, or if you're really agitated, just keep your hands in your pocket. You could start doing a slow breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And that is the time you really have to shut out your ear or your listening skills. Okay. So this is very important when you're specifically in meetings and ballrooms, or when higher authorities are there and you're really standing there getting fired, or there's some sort of, bamboo sessions are happening. So you need to keep your lips, mouth zipped. So you need to be more professional, you need to maintain your composure. So hold your temper. Just keep looking at them in the eye, acknowledging that you're looking at them, you're listening to them, and just do your breathing techniques. You could think of something else to redirect your thought processes, okay? Redirect your reactions by pause, or even visualization, calmness, or even you kind of just detach yourself at that very moment. And I know the detachment process has a lot of methods to be done. Maybe we could do that sometimes in our sessions. So getting out of that particular body of yours and looking the situation as a third party has a lot of influence and de-stresses also. So if you're in that group, definitely do that, and you could be in a win-win situation as they are talking and the discussion is going on. Okay. Pause or delay the action. Again, like you need to speak, the words are in your tip of your tongue and they are literally there. You just want to blast it out of the person and you're waiting for your turn out of the break. Just hold on. It's not that worthy. Okay, just hold on. And at that moment, maybe you could try sipping some water. You could maybe have a gum, you could chew your gum and vent out that frustration there, and just try to breathe. Okay, deep breathing really enhances, visualization really enhances. Okay, so just practice this and see what other topic can be discussed at that particular moment. All right. Then sense the nonverbal message under the CARES model, CARESS. So sense a nonverbal message, because this is very, very important as we are communicating and the other person is receiving us. We need to see how their reaction is. What is that they're perceiving? What is that they're understanding? What is that they are being fed upon? Okay, so your body language, your gestures, your hand movement, your tone, your voice, your face, your expressions, everything matters. Everything is like a jigsaw puzzle setting up the stage to show what are you trying to communicate. Okay, so it's said that only 7 to 10% is verbal through actual words, and the rest are through vocal channels. That is what we speak. Okay, so many people who listen to clearly and who are very good listeners tend to capture every single minute detail. And being in the marketing or salesperson profession or a person, this is very important to take your business ahead, because every single word or every single piece of information given by a client can be used as your marketing platform. Okay, so it is critical that we learn to recognize the nonverbal and vocal messages in both receiving and in sending. Structure. Structure and organize the information as you receive. The same reactive or respond mode. This is what you should do when the time generated by the gap between the speaking and the hearing. So you spoke and you're listening, and as you listen, start structuring in your mind. Remove the diversion, remove the miscommunication thoughts, remove the negativity, and start structuring. Okay, this is what I need to say. Okay, how I should say. Okay, what tone do I do? What is the data which is proving? Which is supporting my communication. So all of these things you need to start structuring in your head, and you're capable of doing it, right? So by organizing the information as you received it, you will improve your retention and understanding of what is being said. Okay, so in structuring, I'm going to give you a small tool. Okay, just maybe you could take a screenshot of this to understand what the ways that you could do indexing, sequencing, and comparing. So indexing is taking a mental or written notes. You could do this when you're bored or when you're really observing things, the topic or the major idea. What is the purpose you're meeting there? What is that this person is trying to convey in terms of you or the author given? Okay, the key points being discussed, like blah blah blah. This is the price you're going to do. Blah blah blah. This is the audience we're going to do. Blah blah blah. This is the date, tentative date we're going to do, etc. And then the reasons or subpoints or supporting points, like, okay, we and our collaborators, we're going to come back, we're going to give another date, we're going to have another discussion about the financial part, or we're going to have a discussion on the location part, or we're going to talk about anybody else involved, etc. So jot down these, break down your notes, okay, whenever the conversation is going on. So that's why we call the parking lot. Whenever somebody's training you, teaching you, coaching you, they say put it in the parking lot, because in the parking lot you can say whether you want on the first floor, you want on the second floor, you want on the third floor. You could wait there. You can have a lot of information being collected and validated and also be repurposed for discussion. Okay, so indexing is made easier by listening for the transitional words, like what I want to talk to you today is so and so and so. For example, I'm supporting women encouragement. I'm working with women as a women community, a platform where I'm supporting them in their growth. And what I'm trying to look at you is if you can show me any other women who are interested to join this, will be great. So you can structure your point. You can structure your selling point. You could structure your motto, intention, or the action part of your business. Okay. Then sequencing is listening for the order of priority. So you could tell something like the order is very important. Like, for example, you're giving instructions or directions. Like, for example, okay, buddy, you're coming to this building. Okay, this building is on the third right, and you're going to take 500 meters, and then you're going to take the first left, and you'll find a big white board which says matrix. That is the building. So this way you are creating an image in the person as you are directing only through voice. Okay, so maybe you're in the business of SOS, or maybe you're in the paralegal or paramedical kind of profession, and you're trying to convey them some information which needs an imaginary structures or which they can just easily follow through. This is really great. Okay, so sequencing your approach, sequencing your business strategy, sequencing your services, sequencing your offering to your customers, etc. Endless possibilities. Okay, and then comparing, trying to discriminate between what is the fact and what is the assumption. Like, discriminate between the advantages and disadvantages. Tell them why it is you, why you are important, why they should come to you, not anybody else in this whole wide world. Okay. The other method is taking notes on what the speaker is saying with mind mapping. There are, in fact, a lot of tools you could find on Google for mind mapping, just which puts points. You don't even need big sentences. And mind mapping is also a technique which students can use to have their memory ball game set. So this is something which you can also as adults do. They just write down words or maybe one line or one sentences, which leads to sequencing, and your brain retains them much better rather than writing down the whole conversation or whole moms together. All right, moms in the sense minutes of meeting. All right, then active listening gratitude. This is going to be in our next session, because attitude is nothing but gratitude in your behavior. All right, so listening itself is in terms of being gratitude for the person to talk, to spend time with you. See you in the next session. Take care.